I would definitely have to say that one of the more mysterious aspects of the Star Wars sequel trilogy has all to do with the character of Rey and who her parents really are. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I wanted to focus in on the character of Rey, since we do know that both J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio will be doing something extremely important for the character in the Episode 9 plot, and giving her a very significant lineage in this movie, which could very well point to the explanation of exactly who her parents really are in this film, which is something that I think is a burning question among many Star Wars fans around the world. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the scene schedules, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, the set leaks and the set designs, etc. One of which has all to do with the description of both Rey and the older man that we have been hearing about quite a number of times these past couple of weeks or so. Specifically, a description of a young Rey on board of a ship that is very similar to DJ's from The Last Jedi. Both Rey and the older man in the Jedi-like robes with the long hair and a ponytail are sitting across from each other at table on board of the ship. In the background is a droid that is in a cylindrical shape with blends of red and gray. Rey appears to be sad, as if the man is delivering tragic news. The man deeply resembles Rey as he hands her a piece of jewelry, puts it in her hand, and folds her hand for her. The last goes over the man walking off the ship onto a tent with the fire going. So he goes into a tent after he walks off the ship, indicating that this could very well be the planet Jakku. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the ship, could this be the ship that actually leaves Rey when Rey is actually next to Unkar Plutt in The Last Jedi? Could this be that very ship that we actually saw taking off and exiting the atmosphere of Jakku? That is something that I believe is connecting to this concept art description of both Rey and this man that resembles Rey. Now, what's really interesting is that the whole concept of Rey's father, a lot of people have been thinking about this man and exactly what his role could really be in Star Wars Episode 9 if he actually does come into fruition. Now, we do know that JJ is introducing a total of 8 new characters in the Episode 9 plot. And a lot of these characters will have an impact on the plot of Episode 9 when it comes to the first, second, and third acts of this movie. So with that being said, I think the fact that they are shooting over in Jordan and they're doing a lot of scenes over there, it's going to be a significant part of this movie. Jordan was the original location that they were going to use for shooting over in Jakku for Star Wars The Force Awakens, but that ultimately was used, of course, for Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi was used for the Jakku scenes in The Force Awakens. Now, one thing that I really do want to go over is this piece of jewelry that Rey's potential father is handing to her. This could actually be her mother's, for all we know, because from the description it goes over how Rey seems sad, as if she is hearing some tragic news by her possible father. Now, here's the thing, alright? We don't really know who those shadowy figures were in the mirror cave. What's interesting to me is in The Last Jedi, when she looks at the cave, right, into the mirror, she sees 2 figures walking toward her, and then they blend into one figure. Ultimately, her face is revealed. Now, a lot of people could take that in multiple different ways, you know, it could be symbolic of something to come in the future. But to me, it sounds like when we saw those 2 figures walking toward her, I think it meant something. It could mean that she was looking for that, and it ultimately was just her. But it could also mean that that was a hint toward her parents being revealed in Star Wars Episode 9, for all we know. We do know that J.J. Abrams, originally in The Force Awakens, had actually planned to give her a very important lineage and make Rey a very important character. However, when Rian Johnson came in for Episode 8, The Last Jedi, that's when things changed and the concept of Rey's parents being nobodies and her being a nobody came into fruition. So with Episode 9, JJ, it seems as though that they want to take Rey in a totally new and different direction, where she's going to be somebody of importance. Now, are Rey's parents really all that important in this story? I know that Daisy Ridley has gone over this numerous times, where she says, you know, oh, I don't really think that Rey's parents are all that important. It's all about the character's path and where she's going and who she's going to have a family with. So that's the whole concept of the character of Rey going into episode 9. As far as her potential father goes delivering this news to her, we're not quite sure what this news is. It just appears as if he is giving her some tragic news as he gives her this piece of jewelry. Now, to my knowledge, I did not see any piece of jewelry in the downed AT-AT on Jakku, which is Rey's home, by the way. So if you examine that scene, maybe there are like hidden objects in there that you could actually point out and connect to this for episode 9. That's a possibility as well. But we do know one thing for sure, and one thing is for certain, is that Daisy Ridley is shooting a lot of scenes with just John Boyega and Oscar Isaac right now over in Jordan. I believe that they're going to actually wrap up those scenes in the coming weeks before they move on over to some of the major scenes that are to be shot once again over at Cardington and Pinewood. So this Jordan location is going to be one of the more significant locations used for a very big scene in episode 9 that I personally believe has all to do with the planet Jakku. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.